Okay, so today this presentation is about equality, and the focus is on feminism and LGBTQ rights. This presentation will also address the wage gap and a little bit about Emma Watson. Now, a lot of people have asked me what LGBT stands for and why the symbol is a rainbow. So the acronym stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender. That is a shortened acronym. The real acronym is very long because there are so many genders and sexualities. They're not just these, they're not just boy, girl, there are so many more. Lesbian usually means when a woman is in love with another woman. Gay usually means when a man is in love with another man, but gay can also be used for a woman loving another woman. Bisexual means someone who could be in love with a boy or could be in love with a girl. Transgender is when someone was born with one sex and chooses to change their gender. So if they were born as a boy, they might switch to being a girl. That's just one example. There are many different cases. You can't stand for every single person. Okay, now we're getting into some of the cold, hard facts about depression and suicide. The suicide rate for LGBT people is 4 times higher than the, quote, average person. The suicide rate percentage is even higher than that. A lot of LGBT people experience family rejection and also harassment, violence, teasing, physical assault, and suicidal-related behavior. Lack of laws. So this is really sad. In 28 states, you can still be kicked out of your job for being gay or transgender if your employer doesn't approve. In all states, discrimination laws are not secure, and many people are not protected. In some states, there are no laws directly prohibiting discrimination based on sexual orientation. Employers can fire people if they think and don't approve of the person being gay or lesbian. Gay and lesbian people often experience a wage gap and earn less than the, quote, average white man. Michigan has no laws forbidding housing discrimination based on sexual orientation. Michigan has no law addressing hate or bias crimes based on sexual orientation. And Michigan does not forbid barring people from your restaurant or store because you are gay or lesbian. This means that you can even be kicked out of a store. You can be legally hated on and have said hurtful things to you, and it's hard for people who are LGBT to find houses and to keep jobs because it's more likely for them to be fired. Why it matters. LGBT people are generally financially unstable, but definitely not always, as that it is extra hard for them to keep jobs and get houses and other things that I mentioned in the last slide. Many are worried what clients will think of them in the workplace or being disowned by their family. There's a great show called The Ellen Show. Ellen is the host, and she is a very inspiring lesbian woman, and she had, for an example, these 2 refugees on her show, and they had gotten married, and in their country where they were from, it's illegal to be a gay, lesbian, transgender, etc., and they would be probably tortured or killed, and their families will disown them. There are many organizations and individuals that are helping to promote same-sex marriage equality. A really good example of this is the Human Rights Campaign. They are a nationwide campaign, one of the only ones. On their website, you can find facts from specifically your state and even your city to the world. You can also find out how to contact your legislator and more. Their website is listed below. That is their logo. So how you can help. If someone makes a gay joke, for example, you like that that's so gay. Tell them that's not okay. How does doing something make you gay? Also, what's wrong with being gay? Nothing, right? If you see someone being teased for being gay or lesbian, tell your teacher or a trusted adult. Look for and contact organizations to see how you can help them. Tell a trusted adult if you see any signs of suicidal behavior. That even if the person tells you not to, this is for their own safety and for people around them's safety. If anyone you know is showing signs of suicidal behavior, talk to them and tell an adult. Also, what I like to say is comfort and confront. If you see someone who's being bullied in any case, Confront the bullies, tell them that it's not okay. I know you've probably heard this a million times, but it's true. And try to comfort the person. Tell them that you don't care what other people think about them and you like them for who they are. Now we're moving on to feminism. This is what feminism is. A feminist wants men and women, or boys and girls, to be equal. Men can be feminists. Feminism is also about empowering women and helping women stand up for themselves in many different cases. And feminism means equal rights and equal opportunities for everyone, women and men, and people of all other genders. These are two feminist logos. So the wage gap. Women earn 20 to 25% less than men, because some people think that women can't work as hard or aren't as smart. Some people think that women exist just for men. Some people have even started campaigns to pay women less. And this is a diagram. So right here we see the white man earns about $1, and to that an Asian woman would earn about 94 cents, a white woman 82 cents, an African American woman 68 cents, and a Hispanic woman 61 cents, only 61 cents to a white man's dollar. This might not seem like much because we're just doing it with dollars, but it does add up. Now here are some facts. I know this is a lot of words, but this is very important. For many years, groups of people based on ethnicity, race, religion, sexuality, and gender have struggled with a pay gap, today commonly known as the wage gap. The wage gap negatively impacts women and people who are LGBTQ, etc. The wage gap exists in 98% of occupations. That is like all of them. The problem is that women in general are paid less than men. In fact, most women make around 25% less, 1/4 less, than men. Some studies show that to a white man's dollar, a white woman makes 82 cents, and all this information about to a white man's dollar was in the last slide, so if you want to go look at that, you can. And this may not seem like much, but it does add up, as I said in the last slide. People who define as LGBT also suffer from a wage gap. A study shows that, many studies show that gay and bisexual men earn 10 to 32% less than an equally qualified heterosexual man. Other studies show that a person is less likely to be hired and more likely to be fired if they are LGBTQ. There are no laws in Michigan prohibiting discrimination based on sexual orientation only. Because of this, LGBT families often struggle economically. The wage gap is a big problem in our society and workplace, impacting different racial and ethnic groups, women, and the LGBT community. Until it is fixed, we can never truly achieve the human goal of equality. Stereotypes, gender selective marketing. So a lot of things that are marketed for women versus men cost differently. So women earn less, as we saw on the last slide, and they pay more. This is a good example of how it starts just when they're kids. This is supposed to be a boy's scooter right here, and it is about half as much as this girl's pink sparkle scooter, which costs twice as much, and they are pretty much the exact same scooter, as you can see here. The only difference is that one is for girls and one is for boys. A lot of this is known as the pink tax. There's taxes on more things for women. Clothes for women cost more. Even getting your shirts dry cleaned cost 92% more than men. That's so much more. And women need to pay more for life insurance, more for hair products, more for haircuts, and they pay more for self-care items, as shown right here. This is just with like shaving cream and deodorant. How much more women need to pay than men. You can see how this goes. This is not the best example, but it does show my point. There's also a tax on sanitary items. They are very expensive because they're not considered a necessity. Makeup is also a problem. It's a product made by men to make women look more perfect, and it's showing women that they basically need to spend money on this. So, in general, women do get paid less, and everything for women does cost more money. Misconceptions. Many people think that feminists hate men, feminists are angry, feminists are unattractive and not feminine, all feminists are lesbians. None of these are true. If you are feminist, you cannot be religious. You can totally be religious and be a feminist. All feminists are queer women and do not support stay-at-home moms. I know many stay-at-home moms who are feminists. Feminists can only be women. This is not true. Men, you can be feminists too. Feminists don't believe in marriage. Most feminists are married, but not all of them. I mean, doesn't really matter. You can be a feminist no matter what. And feminists want women to rule. This is not true. Feminists want equality. None of these are true. So around the globe, there are different religions that are that sometimes limit girls and women in the religious community, and also around the globe there's gendercide, which is the killing of a specific gender just because. So as this says, girls are being targeted for death just because they are girls. Many girls in certain places are married off when they're children, and they don't have any control around this. They're just married off when they're little, and many have a lot of children before they're even adults. There's also sex-select abortion, which is abortion like of a certain gender. So there's more about that in the next slide. Around the globe continued. In many countries, boys are favored. Boys and men provide economic support. Girls, in their opinion, don't. As a result, if a woman finds out that she is pregnant with a girl, she will more likely get an abortion than she would if she were having a boy. Sometimes women are even forced to get abortions by their family if they're having a girl. Not usually in America, but in some other countries. So schools do not often provide safe facilities for girls, and this makes it nearly impossible for many girls to be educated, and then that goes on to be successful. So I have some quotes from Emma Watson. Emma Watson is a leading feminist, and she became famous from playing Hermione Granger in the Harry Potter movies. Here are some quotes from Emma Watson. I have realized that fighting for women's rights has too often become synonymous with man-hating. If there is one thing I know for certain, it is that this has to stop. Men, I would like to take this opportunity to extend your formal invitation. Gender equality is your issue too. It is time that we all see gender as a spectrum instead of two sets of opposing ideals. And here is one of her big quotes that just kind of wraps everything up. If not me, who? If not now, when? For her whole speech, go to heforshe.com or just search up Emma Watson UN speech. We're going to now hear some review. We discussed the lack of laws in the LGBT community, how you can still fire people, you can still refuse to let people into your store, and all that kind of thing, and there's no laws forbidding hate or bias crimes based on sexual orientation. We talked about suicide, how suicide is more common in LGBT people than it is in average, quote, people. Feminism is equal rights and equal opportunities for everyone. Equal rights and equal opportunities for men and women. Remember that the rainbow stands for diversity, and remember how you can help. You can help by standing up, donating, and speaking out. More how you can help. You can inform people on what things are, because many people have those common misconceptions about feminism. They think that feminism is a lot of those things that I showed on the previous slides, and you can inform them that that is not what feminism is. You should always be the change. You can help. You might not think that you can, but just by talking to one person or donating a little bit of money or speaking up for yourself, you can help make the change that you want to see in the world. If you want to see a full feminist speech done by Emma Watson, this is an amazing speech. It changed my life. Go to this link and also search the hashtag #HeForShe. If you have any questions, you can email me at ssw. Hang on, scratch that. sswerdlow@stu.emerson-school.org. Thank you.